show is on. The Paula Show. Come on, one and all. I extend an invitation to the Paula Show. Join in the conversation. Transforming behavior, recognizing our Savior, overcoming hurdles, achieving dreams. Together we can succeed.
Tonight on the Paula Show, we're speaking about marriages. We do not want your marriage to become included in the divorce statistics. We are attempting to save it. So whatever little spark remains, we don't want to hear about irreconcilable differences. No, we want to hear how you are going to work it out to make sure that spark is fanned into a flame. Marriage is an honorable thing. It is a beautiful experience most times. Just try a little bit harder and you might get the results that you desire. And so I want you to stay with us on the Paula Show tonight because we are going to help you to spice up your relationship. And we have a competition on set as well. How well do these gentlemen know their wives? And how well do the wives know their husbands? Well, you know, I'm the host, so my husband and I are exempted from the competition. But if you insist, we will participate. Stay with us on the Paula Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Remember to like me on Facebook, The Paula Show. Send me an email at thepaulashowtv@gmail.com. And remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, The Paula Show TV. We have a YouTube channel as well. Please subscribe to The Paula Show TV. And we're on CTV on Channel 2 on Tuesday nights at 9. And Sundays is a rebroadcast at 1 in the afternoon. You have lots of opportunities to watch The Paula Show. Tonight, we're saving your marriage. The spark that remains, we are going to fan it into a flame. And for those of you who are engaged in a hot relationship, we are going to make it hotter like caliente español. So stay with us on the Paula Show. And to help guide us through our conversation is a beautiful couple, Jonathan Bynoe and Mrs. Lois Bynoe. Show them some Paula Show love. You're a teacher and a pastor?
No, I'm a teacher.
These days they say educator.
Well, whatever they say, I'm an educator.
So you're a teacher, educator, whatever they say.
Yes.
And pastor.
Minister.
Minister.
Yes.
Okay. And you've been married for how many years?
25 years this July.
That is splendid. We are almost 23 and I just thought that we have done so well. We're going to catch you guys up just now.
Sure.
That's possible. All right, we're at courting. Everything is sweet at courting. How was your courtship? Really? You have to look at each other?
That's communication.
You'll go first?
Well,
Don't, if from my experience, you speak first. He might get the dates wrong.
Yeah. Courtship for us was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was thrilling.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to see each other. If it rained, if it was sunny, if it was a storm, we would find a way to see each other.
Whoa!
It was just something else. If we had to hook up a phone card and, you know, just to get the communication going, we had to be in each other's face. It was so bad that it would annoy my siblings.
Oh, well, they're here saying, Was it the same experience for you? Because you know we ladies are so emotional and dramatic, right? Was it the same experience?
it was really exciting to find a fresh and lovely young lady.
Yes.
That it was exciting,
She's still
and
beautiful.
she has character.
Great. How was the proposal? Did you do the knee thing?
No, I didn't. We discussed that the other night, and it wasn't a knee thing. It wasn't a ring in a glass of wine, because we didn't do all of that.
To keep us in suspense.
We met at college, and we were in the final term of our teacher training program.
Yes.
And one of the things I said to her, I'm not going back home without you, so you need to marry me. And I think it wasn't one of those.
Is that
moonlight-
romantic?
It was.
That sounds romantic.
To me, it
was-
was.
To you it was?
To me, it was.
Okay.
Just the fact that he did not want me to go back home, and he wanted me to be with him, that was enough. I'm a simple person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that people add to it is just, it's just like a it's just like fluff.
Oh, she's talking about me.
I don't need all of that.
Girl, I need all that and more. Listen, my boy looked at me and he said, Paula, so what are we going to do about this relationship? Because I'm visiting you and, you know. I said, well, I guess the only thing we can do is to get married. So that was it. The night wore on, and then we're parting ways. I said, excuse me, that was just a recommendation. You need to ask me formally. My husband is as simple as you are, or maybe something dramatic touched him that night. My boy went on his knee. Paula Constance Monica Edwards, will you marry me? I said, yes! And as soon as he left, I called my mom in New York and I started screaming. She said, Babs, they call me Babs. What's the matter? What's the matter? I said, he proposed! And she started saying, yes! So, plenty drama that night. But,
To each his own.
to each his own.
Yes.
No, I mean, you guys are together for 25 years, so maybe you didn't need all that drama.
Yeah.
But I'm just, you know, that type of person. So it has to do with personality as well.
Yes.
And as long as you understand the personalities, it will work. So you made the plans, and on the wedding day, beautiful.
Beautiful. It was an early morning. We got married at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we were nervous.
You were early?
I was early.
Oh, Lord.
I was on time. I don't like to be late.
Oh, stop it.
So I came on time.
My wedding was 8 o'clock. I got there for 8:45.
No.
I'm just saying, I needed time to.
I was on time because I
Good for
told
you.
myself I was going to be on time. I believe in doing things right because I don't understand the purpose of coming late. Maybe there is something, you know, but I don't know what it is, so I didn't want to do it. I don't do things that I don't understand.
I wasn't deliberately late. My dress was ironed overnight, and by the next morning, the lady said, it looks as if it's crushed, and she can't allow me to go to a wedding looking like that. They ironed this long thing all over again, so I was 45 minutes. I wonder if he was nervous. Whenever I ask him that, he doesn't answer. Honeymoon. Tell me, you're not saying anything?
I'm the quiet type.
Really?
No,
Really?
It's been 25 years of finding honey in the moon. We didn't take time out for honeymoon or anything like that.
No.
Because we were teachers, so we had to go straight back to work after the wedding. But we had a honey of a moon over the last 25 years, so it's been.
Well, it's obvious she's
and
still grinning.
She's grinning. We're doing something right, and it's just been going through stages and evolving. So we constantly on honeymoon.
So when you woke up the next morning, found yourself living together, and throughout that week and the next week, did you think, oh my gosh, this is strange?
I say all the time, it took me about 5 years to realize that I was married. Hold on, because you grew up in a family. You're a single person for a long time, and then once you make that adjustment into being a married person, it's totally different from being single. And so for me, it was a learning curve that took about 5 years to really understand totally. I guess when you fall in love, you want to make the next move and be married. You want to do the right thing because you want to live as the Bible says.
Yes.
So you do what you have to do. But it took me a while to really get into running gear and to really appreciate and understand what I was supposed to be doing as a husband and as a man. And I'm still learning.
Yes, it's a learning,
So it's a learning experience.
Listen, I know exactly what you're talking about, because for the first couple of years, as soon as there was a little rift or anything, I would be thinking, wonder if I can go back home. You know, I'm serious. Did it happen to any of you? I'm thinking, wonder if I can return home. This is not what it's cut out to be. Everything is supposed to be nice and peachy. Why is there vexation? Why is it sometimes you don't feel like talking to him? And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I wouldn't pass the third year. I'm serious.
Like for me, the first week was exciting. I was happy to be Mrs. Jonathan Bynoe.
Whoa.
I was like, I am. But deep inside of me, I still missed my family, you know, and being in a home with a man for the first time alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, but he was there for me. He was supportive. So it was good. It was really good. Yeah.
I have a special husband too, but I'm telling you the truth. Those first couple of years, I wondered, can I take time out? It's just a lot of responsibilities. Whereas before you would shop, you would do whatever. Now you have to pool the resources and everything. Do you know that we are not prepared for marriage like some of the other cultures? We're just thrust into this experience, and that's why so many marriages fail in our culture. Because in Titus it says the older women are supposed to teach the younger ones. So while I was growing up, they say wash the collar, cook the food, do this, do that, but nobody ever took the time out to say, when you get married, this is what you do. And even about intimacy, this is what you might have to do to please your husband. So it's just,
you do not get the manual.
no.
You learn on the job.
Oh,
Yes, you learn on the job.
I suppose it's like having a baby. It doesn't come with a manual.
Yes.
But as the child grows from one stage to the next, you learn, you appreciate, you make some mistakes, and you try to fix them along the way.
Right. And then coming out of a family where I had parents who were married, you learned from their experiences. But it's not always the best.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to make adjustments as you go along.
All right.
You know?
Well, listen, this is a beautiful night on the Paula Show. We're speaking about saving marriages, and already I am so excited to hear more from the Bynoes. They've been married for 25 years, and Lois Bynoe is looking at her husband as if they just met the other day. To me, that's a beautiful expression of love. Are you still looking at your spouse even after 2 years of marriage and grinning? You ought to be doing that. It's a new relationship. Stay with us on the Paula Show. We'll teach you how to love tonight. We'll be right back. The set is heating up on the Paula Show. We're talking about saving marriages tonight. We've spoken about divorce sometime in the past, but I want to be optimistic about marriages. So I know part of the reason that you two are together still is because you speak a lot every day about just anything and everything. Some men would say we talk too much. Do you ever think your wife is talking too much? Whisper if it's yes.
It's something that I've learned as a husband that I need to do. I know she has needs. I know she needs an ear. And that's something that I've learned to do over time. I wasn't always a good listener. I was one of those who would roll over in the bed and snore. But I do recognize it's a need.
Yes.
And like I said, part of my aim and my mission is to ensure that my wife is comfortable and that she's happy within the context of the marriage. Women have a lot more speech than men do. As a matter of fact, I say women have about 25,000 words that they need to release in a day. The men probably have about 8. So by 7 o'clock, we've expended all of our speech, and I think we're just ready to sleep. But I have learned to become a good listener.
Yeah.
I have gotten better at it with time. So we communicate on every level because a family requires communication.
Yes.
We have to talk about the children. We have to talk about the finances. We have to talk about where we are. We work in very pressured jobs as teachers, so we have to communicate on every level about where we're going.
Do you tell her every day that you love her?
I don't do it every day, and that for me is a work in process. But I think a lot of times as men we tend to do more than we say.
My note
Move
says
on.
here, I don't feel love. You have not said it lately. This is the lady. The gentleman says, do you notice all the things I'm doing around here? These are expressions of my love. And the lady says, I need to hear it frequently, right? Please say yes.
I think after a while you get accustomed to your mate and how they communicate the love language.
Verbally or non-verbally?
Yes. At one point in my marriage, it concerned me and it bothered me. But after a while, you mature, and with much help and, you know, with knowledge, you read, you understand that people are different. You have difference in personalities. So my husband is a doer. I'm now beginning to understand he's a doer. And if my washing machine breaks down and he fixes it, he's
That's
saying
love.
to me, I love you, so I'm taking care of you. That's how he does it.
Do you believe that is an expression of love? Clap if you think so.
It is. Yes.
Okay. Listen, I know that a lot of men are doers, but I need to hear it, even once per day. Tell me. Don't send me a text message or a WhatsApp either. Send me a voice note or tell me. I need to hear it verbally expressed. Do you know whether your husband, your boyfriend looks into your eyes and say, I love you? That baritone voice saying, I love you. Girl,
I guess it does a lot.
I feel like Fred's ice cream on a sunny day, melting, okay? So I know he does a lot of things, like even, you know, working with us on the Paula show, going to work every day, taking care of the family. But I just need to hear it. It's possible that because I grew up in a single parent household, I didn't have a father around to say I love you every day. I had a grandfather who did his best. But maybe my husband has to make up for all the times I didn't hear it from a male. And
But unlike you, I didn't hear it from my father, but I knew he loved me.
oh, you have a lot of doors.
Yes.
Okay.
He supported me. He would tell me, I'm proud of you if I did well at school. There was an understanding, and I appreciate that. And it happens now with my husband. I appreciate when he does well. I just appreciate it. I would love to hear I love you, yes. Every now and again, I'm a woman.
Yes.
But he's doing quite okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a question. What do you love about him, briefly?
Briefly,
Yes.
his willingness to shift, you know, and to say, I'm sorry.
Ah, he's apologetic.
Yes.
Smart.
What do you, smart, he said. What do you love about her?
And I've heard that a lot, but I just love her personality, character. She's one of those angels in human flesh.
Yeah?
Yep.
Wow.
So she has character, and she's just a loving person. That makes it very easy.
So is there an area that wherein you'd like her to improve?
Those are things that we speak about. She's been doing very well, and I must say, but there's always areas to improve. Some things I may not say on the Paula show. They
Okay.
reserved for
All
the
right.
home.
So you want to mention one that's not an indictment, or we might improve?
How my husband might improve?
Yes.
We're working on it together.
We're saving your marriage. If there's a spark, we are going to fan it into flame. Jonathan Bynoe is here with us and his wife Lois Bynoe. They've been married for 25 years. That's quarter of a century. They deserve a clap for that. And what I enjoy about this couple, even though Mr. Bynoe is not smiling a lot, Lois is just grinning all night long. So it means he's doing something good. She cannot grin because of her efforts only. It's also because of how he stimulates her, right? Yes, clap for the man. Give him his props. Give him his props. Let's talk a little bit about the cost of love. Whenever you're doing anything for your husband, do you count the cost?
Sometimes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So it might be too expensive for you to purchase for him?
Yeah, maybe I can't afford it. I'm being honest.
Aww.
Yes.
Is that good, guys?
Yeah, I'm being real. Yeah.
You agree with her, guys?
Yes.
She's practical?
Yes. You cannot, sometimes you would love to, but you can't afford it. And you should not put yourself in a position where you're going to be strained. So, I mean, he may deserve a better pair of shoes, you know.
Okay.
But what I can afford is one that costs $50.
50 US.
Easy.
Easy?
And I learned to live within my means,
Yeah.
all right? Because money is a big thing
Yes.
in marriage.
Yes.
This is one of the major areas that cause the breakup and cause the conflicts in marriage. And we've gone through, you know, our season of really struggling in that area. So we're learning,
Yes.
you know, we're learning now to do things differently. And we're getting better, you know. So
I
if
like
it's
the
if it's
fact that-
$50
Yes.
we can afford, we're gonna use $50.
And not attempt to use 60.
No.
So Mr. Bynoe Lois decides that she wants to get another degree and you may not be able to facilitate it right now on your present salary. Would you count the cost and tell her, well, you know, don't bother with that.
I
You
know
don't
what
have-
he would do. He would pray for a scholarship.
How you know?
I understand her enthusiasm. There was a time when I spoke for my husband and somebody told me, let the man talk for himself. I said, but it's my husband. I think I know what he was going to say.
I know
She
he
hit
was
the-
going to say that.
You were about to say you would pray for a scholarship?
Absolutely.
Seriously?
That's option 1, option 2, and
Yeah.
option 3. I think because we're Christians, we're driven by what we believe,
Yeah.
and I make sacrifices for my family all the time. And if she desires to pursue a degree, I would try to find a way. Like I said, I'm a doer. I would try to find a way to get things done. So I can tell you that if the house needs a stove, the stove will be in the house in short order because I will get it done. But yeah, that's part of what we do. We do make sacrifices, sacrifices with money, time, energy. That's what we give.
Do you do a vacation every year?
We don't do vacation every year, but we take time out for ourselves. And one of the things we've started doing recently is we've really gotten back into the dating mode. So I will try to take out maybe once a week because we do try something.
So you have me time, just both
We
of
need
you.
that. We need that. And we live in a house with 3 children, and sometimes you just need the space. And just the drudgery of doing housework can be taxing. I said to her when we got married that the house cannot die, but you can die. And so don't get too caught up in the everyday running of the house. You need to take time for you. And those are some of the principles that we've lived by.
I would love to be able to do that, but I nitpick. I fuss about a glass in the sink. Anybody else?
I do that sometimes. But
Yeah, I'm forever sweeping. A little piece of paper on the floor, and I make it seem as if it's a big garbage heap in the house. Anybody else? Do I have company? Yeah, I see hands, I see fingers pointing. And I walk through the door, one glass in the sink, and I say, what's going on here? Nobody wash up for the whole day! One glass. And my husband will say, you're exaggerating. You don't need to behave like that. But you see, when I was growing up, my grandparents, you could never go to bed and leave even a fork in that. So I bring that to marriage and bring that to a family, and it frustrates my children.
I do fuss about things. I like order, but and like we're talking about counting the cost. I would sacrifice disorder for my wife's sanity. I would sacrifice disorder for her being comfortable. And I have a general rule that, as you know, as a man, I have like an hour. I normally give about an hour to get, if I bring visitors over, give about an hour's notice before I come. Because you know how women are. You have to clear out the front room and do all that kind of stuff.
Yes, bring out the new curtains and
all
the
of
new
that kind of stuff.
tablecloth, bring out the new tumblers and so.
But I have learned to be more patient. I fuss about leaving the gates open with my children all the time, because I planted some fruit trees recently, and I think they just leave the gates open so the goats can eat them. But those are things. But I don't throw tantrums anymore. I kind of got delivered from those things.
Paula, what I don't want us to trivialize is the whole idea of this money thing in marriage, because it's big, as I said before, and it has cost many marriages. We have gone through our storm where finances are concerned. And it was one of the low points of our marriage, because my husband did things one way, I did things another way. I believed in this order. My husband...
Budget?
Yes, and you know, my husband was a person, if he wants that, he gets that.
I'm with you.
Right?
I'm working on it.
Yes.
I've been delivered from that, though.
Yes, I'm saying to you that, so there are times when you go through storms like that.
Yes.
But as I said to you before, what I can appreciate about him is his willingness to learn that this is not going to work. And that is what I want to challenge the couples to understand. If something is not working, we have to sit down and change it. I would tell people, if you say to me that my husband has another woman, I would tell you, no way. But if you tell me, listen, if you tell me that my husband sold our house, I would say, oh Lord, I believe.
No, when I did that just now, when you said that, it's because I'm with you too. I just think my husband is faithful.
That is how my husband is. When it comes to money, he will do what he has to do. Yeah, and before he would not say, okay, Lois, let's get this. He would get it. And then he'd say, I got it. But no, he would call and he would say, I'm thinking that we should get this. And he would listen now.
I want to be delivered. I want to be delivered. It's good that it's a work in progress, because there are husbands that are very embarrassed. Their wives are writing bounce checks. And people are calling them and asking them to pay bills that they know nothing about. You know, you hear your wife, and it goes both ways. Your husband too, he's the credit card bill. It's maxed. And you weren't aware of it until you're getting notice from the bank. When are you going to reduce? So I think it's always important that when you're married, especially if you're married to a responsible person, that you pool your resources. I believe in that. You're on the Paula Show, and you're learning a lot about marriages and how to safeguard your relationship. Don't think it's a simple matter. If it's not working, be willing to change. That is the advice from Mrs. Lois Bynoe, and that is why she's able to grin, because it's working for her. It can work for you, it can work for me, but we must be willing to change. We'll be right back, and the couples competition is coming up next. Don't go any place.